Welcome and hello everyone. Welcome to our very special
Christmas
Christmas stream.
Christmas themed event. Yeah.
Christmas stream. Sorry, give me 1 second. I have an echo here. I have to.
Nemiro has to mute himself. So, yeah, welcome everyone. I hope you're having a great time. Christmas is just around the corner, and as per usual, we have decided to do a little Christmas stream before the actual Christmas day. So,
Yes.
hopefully, we will be able to share some hopefully exciting news with you, everyone, today. Recap the year that we're slowly leaving behind, and the year we are getting into, because we have prepared some news that we're going to talk about today.
Absolutely. As my colleague Jakub Mráz said already, let me introduce all our guests today. My name is Nemiro. With me here in studio is Jakub, and above us, somewhere there, we also have Pavel.
In a corner.
Hi, Pavel, how are you?
Hello, I'm fine, doing well, thank you.
Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for invitation. It's becoming a tradition for us to do these Christmas streams.
Yeah.
And even though the year is very complicated, we managed to find a way to do this. The guys are in the studio. I am actually at home because the grandparents are visiting soon, and I don't want to take absolutely any risks.
Yeah. Pavel is staying responsible.
And the guys are also acting very responsible. So hopefully this is the only Christmas stream ever troubled by
with
the next year is going to get eventually much better, but for now we try to stay safe as possible.
Right. I think that's quite a good intro to maybe talk about the whole situation and how it affected this year, because for us, as for many people that are watching now and many other companies, this year was quite a roller coaster, actually, of both good and bad. When you think about it, the bad obviously being the virus situation that's going on, and how we had to change all our work regimes and basically change the entire development cycle, because we had to shift everybody to work from home, prepare new pipelines, work in a different way, communicate in a different way. On the other hand, this industry kind of strives from, if I say it like that, from people staying at home. So in that regard, we are actually still staying healthy, as far as I know. So maybe Pavel could elaborate on that. Maybe tell us his perspective on that.
I don't know if people want to hear any more of the global news that everybody is affected by. So let's focus on how we were faring through the year.
Right.
Indeed, game developers are a specific bunch. We are creatives. We are thriving when we are together, but we manage to work also on our own when the task is clear and when we can focus on the job. So for us, the year brought a lot of complications, but also kind of new opportunities or kind of new experiences that we may actually even benefit from in the long term, as many people in the team actually do express a desire to have in the future some hybrid approach to work from home.
True.
And mix it with the office work so that the teams can meet. But really the shocks, starting with the spring, very, very quick action to switch to working from home, it was all new, and all the teams were having to adapt in a matter of days. And even though the news were coming that most of the things were done successfully, as time went on, we realized that some of the feedback systems, some of the review systems, some of the cooperation just takes longer. It's harder to do. Teaching the skills to newcomers is difficult. Overseeing new people is difficult. So we do keep at some delays here and there compared to a normal year, but comparatively to many other industries, the games sector is not badly affected. We have to deal with just creative problems mostly, not with economic survival or much worse things.
Yeah, no existential crisis, luckily. So, I mean, that's a good message for the fans that we are still alive and healthy and doing well. And I can confirm that working here, obviously, we've adapted pretty quickly. And I think it's good to say that we have switched from the office mode into working from home very rapidly and without much annoyance. Now, as Pavel has mentioned, as time went on, it starts kind of setting in, and it has its disadvantages as well. So we're really looking forward to going back to the offices. But even then, we were still able to push out a lot of new content during the entire year, and we have a lot more in the works, which we will talk about a little later, I suppose. So now, I guess nearing on to Christmas, we have also prepared a new event that
Yes.
Nemiro is taking part of.
Yeah, I'm trying to find I already did find a job in the currently ongoing Christmas Vice Giving World of Trucks online event.
Nice.
So I'm going to attach my trailer full of gifts pretty soon, and then I'm going to do my delivery of gifts to, I guess it was to Lamar, to city of Lamar.
Lamar, yeah, that's in Colorado. Nice. So we're going from Raton to
Yes.
Lamar. Okay,
Yes.
nice. So what's the quote-unquote deal with the Christmas event? What are the rules? What are the rewards, etc.?
Okay, so the rules are basically that you can participate and like pursue your personal goal to get amazing reward of paint job for your trucks. Either they are for Euro Truck Simulator 2 or American Truck Simulator.
Nice.
These paint jobs are really amazing. They are called Winter Blast, and all of them, like both of them, more like to say, are also paintable, so you can change the colors of them as well.
Nice.
And to receive this gift, you have to finish your personal goal, which is to deliver 15 jobs of this or in this Xmas Vice Giving event. And to do that, you don't need to do 15 jobs only in one game, or either it is American Truck Simulator or Euro Truck Simulator 2.
You can spread it out across both games, right?
Yes, you can do, for example, 7 in ETS2 and 8 in ATS, and you will be done. But you have to keep in mind that each city, because to finish the like one of the 15 jobs in your personal goal progress, you have to pick up the trailer of gifts from one city and deliver it to another city. But you have to keep in mind that each unique city counts only once. So, for example, if I will do this job from Raton to Lamar, then I would try to do the same job again or another job from Raton to Lamar. That wouldn't count to the personal
Right.
progress.
So they have to be different cities, basically.
Yes.
Yeah, to keep it unique. Okay.
Okay. Our technical guy Philip is a little bit nervous running around.
Nemiro is just having
He's
little
trying to
microphone
convince me
issues.
to stop talking already and switch the microphones. So,
Okay.
Mrazi, please take.
Yeah, I'll take over. So Nemiro was talking about the new paint jobs available. Now, obviously you cannot see them right now on the stream. You can go and check out our blog at blog.scsoft.com, where you can actually see the screenshots from both ATS and ETS on how the paint jobs look. I think they look really cool. They got like the little shattering ice effect, looking really cool. And since you can paint it any color you want, you can make it your own and fit it your style. Now, in terms of like the quick summary, to have a little recap. Welcome back. Now you can actually hear Nemiro again.
Let me know, guys and girls, if you can hear me. If you can hear me better. Obviously, one of our club microphones, I don't know if I'm calling them right in English, just died. So, RIP. Type in the chat.
RIP. So the quick summary for using ETS or ATS. To get a personal goal, to give a quick recap, you got to get 15 deliveries from any city in either game. To get a heart for a city reward, you got to do, as a community, 1,000 deliveries from one particular city. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Nemiro. I think
No,
that's
you're right.
And to get gift for a city, you got to do 1,000 deliveries to that particular city as a community. So that is a community goal. You do not have to do 1,000 deliveries yourself. That would be quite brutal. So if you work together, everyone, deliver even to the smallest cities, you can all get some nice little rewards. Now, to unlock the unique community reward, every tier of 350 hearts or gifts combined collected from both games.
Yeah,
basically.
will drop a community reward.
Yeah.
And the system of dropping the community reward, if I can like get out of this prefab without scratching anything.
There you go, good job.
The system is based on, as my colleague Gavin said in our previous stream, based on lucky dip system. That means that there are multiple possible community rewards that you can get, but the system will pick them by, let's say, a random choice. Each community goal is achieved. So you never know what the next community goal is gonna be, not goal, the reward is gonna be.
Right. So you could say that this event is like a box of chocolates.
Yes.
You don't know what you're gonna get.
Yes, Forrest.
Okay. So how long is the event going for?
I think that if I'm not wrong, I think that we set the deadline to 17th of January, so more than a month. So there is still plenty of time to either pursue your personal goal and get the amazing paint job reward,
Right.
but also to contribute to the
Community
towards
goals.
the community goal as well.
Yeah. So the entire idea is to give wisely and
Yes.
spread the love across the entire map. To maybe visit the cities that you haven't been too much. Visit some maybe older parts of the map as well, because everybody's always excited to drive in the new
Yes.
content, and everybody wants
Yes.
to do deliveries there. Maybe you can go back and kind of remind yourself where the game has actually come from, or how much it has progressed in the last couple of years, and remind yourself, some
To
California, Arizona,
reminisce a
and,
little bit.
yeah, and then go to Germany and Czech Republic. Yay!
Yeah.
Visit Czech
Actually,
Republic.
the city of Prague is already maxed out, full maxed out. And
Is
it's
it?
also good to
Wow.
mention that the participants in this event should be really wise and to frequently check the current progress of each city on worldoftrucks.com, because when city receives or gives a maximum of gifts or receives maximum of gifts, the city became maxed out, and after that no more gifts delivered to or from that city will count into the community goal. So you have to basically watch what cities are already full or maxed out,
Right.
and basically direct your focus and your effort into different cities that need your help, that
Right.
need the gifts.
Hence the community goal, because
Yeah.
you got to cooperate with other people, help where it is needed. I kind of wonder, watching the Twitch chat right now, how many people are joining in on the Christmas event? Have you on the personal reward at least? Hopefully we have at least one or two guys who have already joined in and done their part for the event. Maybe let us know.
Yeah, I saw a lot of tweets and Instagram posts and Facebook posts under the hashtag, under special hashtag we set, the
Right.
Xmas Wise Giving, showing the amazing paint job with multiple beautiful color combinations, matching their trailers. I think the community really loves that paint job.
Nice. Yeah, I'm seeing some messages that people are done. Like Simple Trucker, he's done already. Beamer is on 7 out of 15. Arten Reichtum is done already. 25 out of 15 from
25,
Tom Lucider.
okay.
Yeah. Seth 510 has 40 so far and will do more. Several more people who are done already. WWEERRT1.
Yeah, some of the nicknames are really hard.
60 out of 15.
read.
So
I
good job on
opened
there.
the page here. We have a system internally on our back end that's monitoring the participation in World of Trucks. At the moment, I can see that there are some, maybe it's 8.5, because it's graphical. I can only judge by the curve.
Estimate.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
The graph estimate is over 8,000 people, I believe, are currently driving the event.
We are one
if
of them.
I'm big here, people do not lose any time. They do not care about our stream. They just push on and deliver those gifts. So it's great to see the engagement by the community. And it's like here in Europe, it's a normal day and not even an evening. In America, it's basically early morning. So
Yeah.
it's not the prime time for gamers. Chances are later on the numbers will be maybe double that. So a lot of people are enjoying these events if we bring them, and we feel good about this year's event. Really, the pragmatic goal is really to take people through the map again, but
Right.
having like a good feeling good about it, it never hurts.
Exactly. And talking about the events, we are kind of in a, I don't want to say special situation, but in a new situation that we are trying to do more of these events because in the past we've done like what 3 or 4 a year. We will now, as far as I know, try and push a little bit more of them so that people can get engaged in different conditions and under different occasions. Hopefully, I'm not spoiling too much.
That's the goal. Actually, I believe I may have been hinting that this would be the case this year already, but the year 2020, never anything, nothing just works as expected.
Yeah.
The thing is that the events are great for giving people a reason to launch the game again and take a drive. Currently, the way we are set up, the team that handles the preparations for the events happens to be the same team that's working on future development of the World of Trucks platform. So we're in a bit of like internal competition. If we do more events of this type, we slow down progress on future evolution of World of Trucks. But if we don't, then people may be feeling like we don't support the game enough. So we try to find a balance, do a couple of events every year for now, with the hope that when the new system comes, setting up events will be less demanding on programmers' time, like it is currently, with some database magic needed to be done like manually. In the future, this should be semi-automated, hopefully. So the kind of the light is at the end of the tunnel, but we are not quite there. Even with like I can use this idiom even for the World of Truck system. We would like to do more events. We would push some events, but not quite at the level where it would be like my desire. For example, I would like to see events all year round.
But actually, I think correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that at this moment it's also for the first time that we are running two different events in parallel.
Yeah, right.
Because the cruising Colorado is still active, and basically any player can take part in both of these events at once. That means if you would be doing a job of delivering gifts from any Colorado city to any other Colorado city, you can participate in both
events.
In Christmas event and also the cruising Colorado event, which is cool.
Yeah, there were some upgrades on the back end and as well as in the game itself that we can use. We adjusted the user interface to be able to support multiple events at the same time. One could even consider the events to be sort of like quests in the terminology of like RPG games, where like the cruising events, like the current cruising Colorado event, we are not pushed now. We're not now, it's not urgent for us to wrap it up before we launch a new event. So our hands are more free to juggle multiple events at the same time, so that people can choose or people have more time to take advantage of them. So that's a good thing to have, and probably this will be used through the next year repeatedly, where we will not be really under stress to like clean up after the previous event, because that was what we had to do until recently. Now we'll be able to have the database supporting multiple of them. But that's a small step, and actually we'll probably get to it later in the stream. The World of Trucks team and the programming team that works on World of Trucks elements is busy on other stuff that takes their time, and that's, I think, it's going to be exciting. So I'm not going to tease yet. We'll get to it later.
You've teased already.
Yeah, the chat is a little bit crazy already about it.
Yeah, look at that track, how beautiful that trailer is.
Yeah, and
Isn't that
imagine,
something you'd want to deliver in real life? I would.
yeah,
It's awesome.
I love the this new Cascadia, the Freightliner Cascadia truck
Right,
in this
yeah.
color combination, the yellow, the bright yellow with all the black elements. It's
Right.
amazing.
So maybe now the time has come, we've talked a little bit already, maybe people would like to get something. Do you think we could give away something maybe?
Yeah,
Or is it too soon?
I also was thinking about to start the giveaway, but I think it might be cool to start the giveaway now, but pick the winners at the end of the stream. Basically, because
We can do
I'm
that.
the one who needs to set up the nightboard to be counting the keyword for the giveaway. So give me 1 second.
He's this guy. He's got Nemiro's got to drive. He's got to talk.
I'm feeling like an octopus here. Like
Yeah, he's missing like 4 hands. He's got to read the chat as well.
Yeah.
He's probably cooking dinner in here somewhere as well.
Yeah.
He's a very multi-talented guy.
No.
So,
So
he's got to stay responsible with the face mask as well.
guys and girls,
a lot of work.
we brought 4 keys for you this evening. 1 for Colorado DLC, 1 for Road to the Black Sea DLC, 1 for American Truck Simulator Cabin Accessories DLC, which is full of amazing new toys for your cabins, and also 1 for the brother of this DLC for Euro Truck Simulator 2. That means Cabin Accessories DLC for Euro Truck Simulator 2. So we have 4 keys. So 4 of you will receive a gift at the end of this stream. However, to participate in this giveaway, let's set up a keyword. And I think it should be something easy and something like very iconic for this purpose. Let's say Christmas, maybe.
Let's do Christmas.
Let's
I
do
think
Christmas.
that's simple enough and fitting.
So the keyword is Christmas. CHRISTMAS. Christmas
Thank
it
you.
is.
Back to elementary school now.
Yeah, it's always hard for me to spell these
Okay.
keywords.
Yeah.
Yeah, as you can see in the chat, community is already spamming the right keyword. So guys and girls, if you want to participate in the giveaway, just type the word Christmas into the chat, and we will pick the winner
At the end.
at the end of this stream.
I think I'm going to participate myself. I want
You want the key?
Prohibited.
yeah, I want all of the keys. Sorry, everyone.
Before the chat went crazy about spamming with the magic keyword, I've noticed. I'm looking at the other screen here. I've noticed that quite a few people are mentioning Alex and the fact that they would expect him to be here. Maybe we should explain.
Yes, Alex is having a long time deserved vacation.
He's having a
He's going to be
relaxing day off,
back
yeah.
at, I think, first week in January.
Yeah.
Until that, he went back to his homeland, which is London, I think, to spend
Yeah.
these holidays with his family.
Yeah, he went back to his.
Don't
home
worry,
country.
we didn't sell him, we didn't ditch him anywhere. He's
No,
still
you're
around.
lying. We had to sell Alex to get the 4 keys to
Yeah.
give away. So sorry, everyone. We had to get.
He's just taking a few days off.
Yeah, I think well deserved. Alex has been doing a
Yeah,
great
I
job.
think the year was very difficult for him personally, considering that he has to travel between the UK and the Czech Republic.
Yeah.
And he always kind of was at the wrong time at the wrong place when the situation was through the ups and downs.
Yeah.
Always
Yeah.
kind of
And it's now
out in a way. So I think he really deserves to rest for a bit.
Yeah, and it's not. He again picked a wrong time, because at this morning he just wrote me on Facebook, on Messenger. He was like, "Hey man, the Czech Republic just banned anyone entering the country from the United Kingdom, so
Yeah.
I might be stuck here for longer than I would want to." So we will see. We will see.
But what I think is amazing that you guys actually, pay attention to us talking to you. You notice that Alex is missing. He's doing a great job, and kind of again gives that better connection to the community that we know you, you know us, and it's on a pretty personal level. It's just something I wanted to point out. It's very nice to have you guys here every stream, hanging out, supporting us through these tough times, and we hope that our products are helping you to stay positive in these trying times, maybe
Yes,
for some,
definitely.
and bring a little happiness and joy to you. Now, maybe talking about 2020, I know this probably isn't something we've planned, But I just thought if we were to pick out one favorite thing that happened at the company during this year, like maybe it was a release of something, maybe it was a certain event or stream. What was your guys' favorite part of this year in terms of
Can I go?
company
Can I go
events?
last? I need to think about it more.
I can start.
Okay.
I'm gonna be selfish, obviously. We released Idaho, which I was working on, and I'm really proud of how it came out. Although the situation wasn't really too great, we had a great release. I think it turned out really good. The team did an excellent job. We brought in some new guys who have fit right in the team and are now full members of the team and are working on some next content for you guys. So for me, it was Idaho, and not to. I mean, if I was to be fair, I would mention both Colorado and Idaho. But since I had to pick just one, I picked the project I was working on. I personally think that Colorado turned out even better than Idaho, as it was following. It had we had a little bit more time, so Colorado turned out amazing. And I think the states or the content that we have in the works now are going to become even better and better with time. So for me, if I were to say, it would be Idaho. I'm gonna stay selfish like that.
Cool. What about you, Pavel? Do you have a favorite release or favorite thing, cooperation?
I have to be, unbiased, so I don't want to, hurt the feelings of either Euro Truck team or American truck team. And also, I happen to be looking from like my bird's perspective at the things. I happen to be kind of a year ahead of everybody in where I already think of the terms of what the company is doing. So I will actually talk about something that people cannot experience yet, but that we internally were shocked to see, and it's the new light. For me, we just showed some pictures on social media and on the blog maybe, but for me, the year was already very risky when we entered it. Before we even knew there would be any COVID situation, we thought this would be the year when we do a major technologies change internally for the engine. Mm-hmm. And we called the kind of internal project a big jump. Like we make a big jump, we make the progress now or never, kind of.
Yeah, the technological leap, basically.
So it's a lot of internal changes that has to kind of synchronize together to work. And the new light, it's not the only change that's in the pipeline. There are a lot of other changes, but the new light basically means that we have to retouch a lot of existing assets, a lot of existing textures, models, the vehicles, the skyboxes, all has to be redone. A lot of it has to support with the new shading system. You have to have HDR internally and through the pipeline of the engine. So tons of changes, and things could have gone quite wrong timing wise, because in the middle of that you have to be like a productive. You have to still manage to release DLCs. So it's really hard to separate the two processes. And indeed, we are, in a way, now paying the price that Iberia, that was planned to be with us already on the market, is still waiting for completion. But ultimately, the new look is much better than I would anticipate. I didn't know what we would be getting.
Yeah.
At the same time, we didn't take like big damage from any delays. It's only a couple of months, hopefully, as we see it. And the big kind of takeaway is that we even managed to launch new projects on time. So even though one of the major DLCs may be delayed, it didn't create a dent in the like release plans for the next year and the years after that. All the research stages, all the appropriate steps that a project needs to go through for the next DLC after Iberia has been happening on time. So we are pretty much, with a little hesitation, we are on track for where we want it to be. And for me, the new light is the big thing, and I'm looking forward to sharing more of this with the community. Initially through some new blog posts early in January, but we need to do an open beta eventually, not too late. And when people take a look at the new stuff in open beta, I think they will be as excited as I am. I hope so.
Yeah. Now, my in this regard, it's an unbiased opinion because I didn't like personally work on it, but the new relight system that the guys have been working on to basically repeat the words that Pavel has said, the new light looks just incredible, and I hope I'm not stretching it too far. When I was driving through parts of Colorado and some other ATS parts of the map, I felt like I was playing a game by like Rockstar Games. You know, Red Dead Redemption 2 has an amazing atmosphere with all the lighting effects, etc. And I really felt like I was in the same world, in the same universe, which is saying a lot because Rockstar Games is obviously a AAA studio. It's got like a huge global success, and to be able to even, you know, somehow compare the two products in terms of visuals or in terms of lighting, to me that's absolutely fantastic, because ever since I joined the company, we were talking about the light and graphical updates, and as Pavel has said, this year has been huge in that regard, and there's still some fruit to follow in the upcoming times, and I think the changes that are happening here are absolutely incredible. So,
Well,
yeah,
it's
completely
great.
agree.
It's great to see that the company is getting into shape, that, you know, as we keep growing steadily, we have new capacity, we have new talent, we have new bandwidth to manage to evolve the technology as well as to produce incrementally the stuff that people expect us to give them, to grow the continents, to grow the vehicle fleets. So starting this year, it looks like some very nice and important technological improvements are coming together. Well, the programming team is promising some speed ups later in the next year for better processing of geometry. So chances are we'll be able to either improve the density of the future geometry, future DLCs, or at the
Make
very
it
least,
faster.
we should get some some improvements in frame rate. So if this also comes to fruition, well, some great stuff is on the horizon from my point of view and for the next year. But we got a little carried away from, like, this was supposed to be a reflection of what's great
Yeah.
20. So maybe Nemiro, when he comes back to this, he would have to take us back, put our feet on the ground again.
For me, I mean, like, I loved all the projects and all the releases we did this year, but the one that stands out for me the most was the release of the Western Star 49 extract, and the reason why I picked this project is that it was for the first time, if I'm right, in the history of the company, that we actually cooperated for the joint release of a new truck that is not available on the roads, that no one can actually experience, drive. And I see us and our small, let's say small and tiny game in comparison how big these manufacturing companies are, as a good way to allow anyone to experience this truck even before they will be able to hop in the real
road.
version on the real world. That's something I think is very cool and kind of milestone for us.
Although, sorry, Pavel, go on.
I just wanted to comment further on that for us this was really a unique thing, and also quite stressful thing, because
Exactly.
We got a really short time to deliver on time. When we learned of the opportunity from Western Star, we only had a couple of months, and at the same time we had to be super secretive about it. Internally, only a few people, it was on a need-to-know basis, only a few people knew what we are doing. Far from everybody, a lot of people, like the map designers, would be totally in the dark that something like this is happening in the vehicle team. We got references, we got some even 3D files to support us creating the new vehicle, but it was pretty much still on the drawing board. It was still in the design phases, even at the manufacturer. So we were getting some revisions, we were getting some opinions on what kind of initial parts that would be available on the market when the vehicle would launch. So we had to always iterate, we had to always adjust. And we managed, fortunately, like, I would say it was at the last minute that we managed to catch up with the requirements. but it was a very successful launch. We generated a lot of visibility through kind of new media. Of course, vehicle manufacturers, they may be used to their ads in glossy magazines or their YouTube ads or stuff like that these days. But presenting a vehicle through an interactive application like a game, that's still pretty novel for most of them.
Yeah.
And we were really proud to be allowed to have this happening in our game. And we just hope that this just sets the trend, or this just opens us for further cooperations of this type. We already heard some interest from other manufacturers. So hopefully people will be enjoying more of this in the coming years, where we are taken more and more seriously by the OEMs, by the industry. And everybody benefits from like the marketing angle as well as the excitement of being basically the first to drive the vehicle before even real world drivers get their hands on the steering wheel.
Right,
it felt
true.
great. We were really proud, and at the same time it was a really grueling thing for the vehicle team, because they had to somehow squeeze the vehicle into the production plants, into what we've promised already to the other manufacturers, both European and American. And fortunately they managed, so we feel very good about it.
Yeah, it turned out really great, I think. Now, one of the like somewhat funny stories that happened during this development of the 49X, well, I don't know how funny it is because it was stressful at the time, but I remember at some meeting we were talking about when the actual truck is releasing, and somebody said, well, it's supposed to be 8 p.m. and we didn't know which time zone, and we didn't know we didn't know if it was our time zone or American time zone, if we were able to release it earlier than them, or what it was supposed to work like. So, as Pavel mentioned, it was kind of a big deal in terms of internal growth and kind of experiencing new things in terms of communicating with such large companies, even across the sea or the ocean, across the big pond. So a huge learning experience for many people involved, and I think all the trucks that have come to the game this year have turned out really good. So yeah, that's a very good mention in terms of the truck getting released under such conditions, basically, which were unprecedented. So yeah, that was basically the wrap up of well, not wrap up, but our remembering of 2020, talking about it as if it was gone already, of 2020 and what happened, and our favorite parts of it were.
I believe the marketing team is actually preparing a year in review video, like usually here.
Right.
So not today, but around the end of the year, we should be ready to make like a complete review of all important things that happened or that were released. And it's not important just for communicating with the fans. Actually, they know even better than us, because for us, for the team here, people work on various projects, but not everybody works on everything. So it's important reflection even for the team here to actually see the whole volume of stuff being produced, to actually understand what they are a part of. And so these videos are really not just for public consumption, but are even like internally welcomed by the team, to make them kind of proud, to make it easier for them to reflect on what that they are a part of this huge phenomenon, and what it takes to really support this hungry community with updates and releases.
Nice. Okay, so we've talked about the year 2020. Maybe we could, for the people who have tuned in the last maybe 10 or 15 minutes, remind that there's a giveaway going on. Nemiro,
Yes,
could
sir,
you
it is.
take over?
Actually, you can participate in it pretty quickly and pretty easily. Just write or type the word Christmas into the chat and you're in. And at the end of this stream, we will pick 4 lucky winners who will receive one of our keys for Steam. We brought one for Colorado DLC for American Truck Simulator, one for Road to the Black Sea DLC for Euro Truck Simulator, one for American Truck Simulator DLC of cabin accessories, and the last one is for the same DLC but for Euro Truck Simulator 2. And basically, I just parked. I don't know how I did that.
Somebody just commented that you're
Usually
taking
it's
like
not
10
that
years
easy.
to park.
Usually I cannot do that quickly and easily. So I think I have like a lucky hands today. But that means we probably could get into the, I think, main topic for why most of the people tune in today.
Exactly.
Which is that we are going to talk about some projects and
Yes.
new waters we are trying to explore for the upcoming future. What do you think, Pavel? Should we? Could we?
Well, let's move on. Let's see how much courage we gather to either tease or actually confirm specifically. But we agreed here with the guys that we'll be improvising based on some pictures that we prepared,
Right.
and we'll see what happens.
Yeah. So as you can see, we have prepared some.
We have a special folder here.
Yeah, we have some themed folders here. Now, obviously, we are going to talk about Santa Claus and the North Pole and the sleighs and reindeer, etc. There is absolutely no truck talk on the horizon. We will not be talking about our games because, as you can see on the folder, we're clearly not going to talk about anything internal. We are just going to enjoy the spirit of Christmas.
Yes,
so,
sir.
Yeah, the segment that just ended obviously was about the WoTr event that's going on right now. Don't forget to join it. And now maybe Nemiro, if you want to start showing some of your Christmas photos.
I don't think that the first the destination we are going to look is related to the Christmas, but we will get to it. We have folder of new images of place where Santa is going for vacation every year. Some images from his homeland at the North Pole and more. But let us reminisce a little bit, and let us remind people who might not know that we basically not long ago we announced our next project for American Truck Simulator, the next map expansion DLC that is coming, right? And that's the DLC of State of Wyoming. Am I right?
Yes, that's absolutely correct. The one that's in the brewery right now, being in the brewery, yeah. In the brewery, yeah. People are putting in the hours at the brewery. So yeah, I think that was announced about 2 weeks ago or a week ago, when we actually talked about Wyoming being worked on.
Yes.
Actually, it was 9th of December, so
9th
it's almost close to 3 weeks. So yeah, that's the next official state we are working on. Earlier in the chat, I've seen a mention of who is actually working on this state, and I'm not going to go into too much detail. I'm not gonna announce anything, but neither me or Patrick are working on this state.
I can say that the person who is like a kind of the DLC project lead is very close to me.
Yes, it's not a coincidence, but he has the same last name as you, right?
Yeah, it's actually my brother.
Yeah, so Nemiro's brother is taking part in the map DLC production and following the quality we've been setting up lately. I think the state is in awesome hands, and I mean the work, you can probably start showing the screenshots.
Yeah.
That have been on our blog are already showing.
I started the most dark one.
The darkest.
Let me do it from the other side.
Yeah, that already these shots are showing a lot of promise. Now we got Pavel sideways. I can see on the TV.
I'm struggling here.
Pavel just dropped.
Pavel is halfway to Australia. That's how amazed he is by
Is it
Wyoming.
getting better? Is it getting worse? Oh my!
It's staying the same.
How do you feel? Do you feel sick a little bit?
I had to, refuse a phone call here, and I'm so inexperienced with this is not it, with Discord on mobile phones, that I'm struggling here. I may need to disconnect and reconnect just to make it.
That's fine. So yeah.
Better. Not yet.
Still saying the same. There you go.
I think
there you go.
It works.
That
Pavel is back.
Okay, I'm back.
Pavel is on a roll. Yeah.
Okay, I'm back.
Okay, good. So yeah, that was unscripted. That wasn't part of the plan, hopefully. So yeah, Wyoming is being worked on, as you can see from the screenshots. It's being in full production. It hasn't been worked on for too long, but it's already coming along very nicely. And these new screenshots showing some newer parts of the map, already including work from people who really have been just newbies quite recently, and they're already doing an amazing job.
And also, these screenshots are already taken in the new light system
Right.
you guys were talking about.
These are the
a few
shots from the
moments.
blog post, by the way. So if
Yeah.
if you've been watching our blog, then you have seen these. We just wanted to remind maybe those who have not been on the current wave how things are going. So yeah, Wyoming in full swing. A lot of exciting things are happening. Hopefully, we will be able to continue our increasing bar of quality on the uprise, which obviously isn't easy, as we're releasing fairly frequently, and at the same time we're improving every month basically, because the tools are developing. We have more people, we have more resources. So I think the progress we've made in the last couple of years is just amazing. I think Pavel could elaborate with his over 20 years of experience.
For me,
in
the revolutionary
industry.
thing was when American Truck Simulator team actually managed to work on multiple DLCs in parallel. And people, maybe it's not obvious to understand. You said the project is like early in development from map designer point of view. Indeed, we just basically barely started on Wyoming. But from production, from the whole production cycle point of view, the research and the creation of landmarks and the creation of new models needed has to start well half a year before the map designers even touch the map. We have to go through these pre-production stages. So when the map team actually is assembled and starts to work on a DLC, they have a lot of material already. They don't have to use that many placeholders. They can, as much as possible, already use a palette of ready stuff just to create the places.
Yeah, we have basically adapted and adjusted the workflow to be able to, as you mentioned, work on more projects at the same time.
So when the first revolution, when we were working on 2 of DLCs in parallel, now that we are getting up to 3
This is
development
awesome.
cycles in
Sorry.
parallel.
This opens my wallet in
Sorry,
a second.
Pavel, we're
Like,
just getting carried away by
give
the
me
screenshot.
like take my money.
Sorry, so obviously, well, this is the holy grail for us to be able to have multiple projects at various stages of completion, so that the teams get enough time, each team gets enough time for all the stages to get things right, to get things ready. But from the consumer point of view, the stream of releases is uninterrupted, or it's not kind of ups and downs with big gaps in the releases. So when there are some bigger projects on the horizon, and we'll get to it very soon, you have to be, have to work around the kind of the factory lines to make sure that some of the lines that take the smaller projects, and here honestly Wyoming is one of the smaller projects or a standard size projects, still manage to continue or still manage to get launched and finished, while other teams are working in parallel on other sometimes bigger projects. But it's great to see that. It's great, again, from the CEO point of view. You have to think big. You have to think, a unit for me is a team or a DLC, not necessarily one tree or one object, one prefab. So it's great to see that we managed to get things combined such that we have new leaders rising through the teams. We have new teams forming. We can even afford to look at the older stuff we have created and see where we can improve upon our older work. So all these topics we will try to touch through the rest of the stream, but it's really great that these things are happening now. And again, amazing work. I don't think we should kind of overpromise, because the new light is great, but it's not the end of the road for us. There are still some planned improvements.
But I mean, look at this, like,
So we are just
amazing.
getting started here, and hopefully through the next months and further through the following years, we are definitely going to support the franchises, the games that we created, and people have a lot of things to look forward to.
Exactly. So, yeah, you've just seen the gallery of how Wyoming is looking so far with Pavel's basically insight into the development and the CEO look on the thing, because he sees things differently from us who are actually working on the product like daily. We all have like different perspectives. Nemiro being from marketing as well. Each one of us sees little differences in each and every project. I just want to address one thing that I've seen in the chat repeating, seeing the new light in place, and people being obviously worried about performance or the impact it's going to have on current hardware. I just wanted to say that from my experience, I was running the game with the new light on a laptop with an integrated graphics card, and it ran just as well, or the same as it did before, while looking about 10 times better than before. So on an integrated GPU with full HD, it ran really well. So I'm just trying to say that for now we cannot promise anything, but from how things are going, I think we are trying to stay true to the idea that we want the game to be playable for people, in the upcoming years, same as it was like 2 or 3 years ago, so that people do not feel the need to upgrade. Now, obviously, that cannot be kept forever, probably, but it's not going to be like, oh, you're going to need a 3 times as expensive computer right now. I think our game is hugely scalable and plays well on many different computers.
Well, I think the recommended requirements are creeping towards like higher and higher numbers. Like over the years, we actually have to remember that when the Euro Truck Simulator launched some 8 years ago, a typical card may have, I don't know, 512 megabytes of graphics memory as compared to 8, 10, 12 gigs that we see on AAA cards today. So a lot of things have changed, but in some ways, even people who purchased the game 8 years ago with a computer as of then still may be able to set up the game options such that the game is still playable for them. And that's basically the goal, to be able to scale up and down with performance and give up some bells and whistles, but still get the game playable even on older computers. But for the new light, the assignment for the coders and for the art was, do not go crazy on increasing requirements. There may be a slight bump, but at the same time, there are still options in place to compensate. So hopefully, people will be able to enjoy the new features without worrying much about needing to upgrade or anything like that.
Exactly. So yeah, there you go. I just felt like addressing that question. It's fair to talk about it in terms of graphical improvements. Now, that obviously comes to everybody's mind when you talk about graphical improvements, how it's going to affect their gameplay and performance. So we cannot promise anything right now. From my experience, it's staying basically the same. There's obviously going to be a slow creep up, but I don't think there's going to be a massive change in performance hit, if any noticeable at all. Now, maybe we could move on to another Christmas topic, Nemiro.
Yes, which is, let's take a look at a place more warm, more hot, and I think I can ask Philip, our technical guy, to hide the UI, hide us how that faces, because this one is actually a video. So please give the community full view of this. I hope that you also hear the nice music in the background. I cannot hear it here at my computer. So
see if anybody notices what's actually going on, because might not be too obvious at first sight. That's actually following the topic of what we just talked about, which is the new light. Now, I don't know many technical details, but as you will you will soon see the sun setting down, seeing the solar plant, which is from the Iberia DLC, if I'm
Yes,
right.
you're
which is
right.
coming
You're
out.
right.
You can see that it actually respects the current weather situation, and that changes the visuals on the solar plant itself.
Let's play it once again. Can
Yeah,
we?
show it again, just a time lapse. I think this is such a cool effect that you can see in the game, adding the realism to the game, because obviously you wouldn't expect it to be all lit up in the middle of the night. So having it react to the current weather or sun position and its strength, that's just really cool to me in terms of like gaming visuals and game mechanics. It just looks awesome to my eyes.
Yeah, and I when I saw this for the first time, I actually didn't believe that such place exists in real life.
Right,
It
yeah.
was so much next level technology for me. Like, but how they do that?
Yeah, when I saw it for the first time, I was like, "Is that a bug?" Because it was just a little pillar in the middle, and it was like so shiny at the top. I was like, "What is that? Why is it so bright?
Yeah.
Is that a bug?" And then I found out that it's
I
actually
also have here
solar
from
plant.
the guys who are working on this place. I have a link to Google Maps where we can maybe I'm able to show the place from a real world. You can see how big that solar plant
it's
is.
massive.
And basically, what they do there is that they put multiple solar
Panels.
mirrors, or I don't know how they are
mirrors.
called,
I think so, yeah.
in a circle around the big pole and point them, direct them towards to the top. And when the sun is shining on the solar mirrors, they're reflecting the power, the energy, the sun energy towards the pole that is kind of transforming into the energy and then gathering it all around, which is extremely cool. I would love to see the place in the real world there.
Yeah.
Maybe I can
Very
try
cool.
to
I
drop.
believe it then transfers into electricity and powers the electrical grid. But I might be lying. I'm not from the ETS2
Well, they
team. So-
create a massive amount of heat, obviously, in the pillar, in the column,
Right.
and then basically use a very kind of standard approach to convert heat into electricity through, I believe, through turbines.
Mhm.
So it's like it's more like a regular plant in the sense that the heat can be provided by sun here rather than coal or even nuclear power. But it's cool new. It's an example of cool new industry that the guys came up with for the Iberia DLC, and it's going to be one of the places that people can have a reason to drive to. You can see it from a distance from a highway.
Yeah.
Right.
But you can also get pretty close. Not this close. I'm afraid this is actually in the middle of the installation. But basically, the delivery place is at the edge of the installation. So
No, you actually can drive to it.
you can? Okay.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
when I was like, or when our team was making this video, you actually can drive pretty close to it. There's
I
some
believe
kind
there's
of,
a company right by it.
yeah,
right?
there's company.
Yeah.
There's a company. So if I'm not wrong, but I might be here, I think that players will be able to drive really close to it and maybe
Yeah.
also kind of like do jobs that will drive, I don't know, maybe materials or new maybe solar mirrors to the place as well.
Right. So yeah, it will be part of the Iberian economy. So yeah, that was a little sneak peek to what's cooking in the
Yes.
light directory.
Well, Iberia was long confirmed, and people can expect us to switch to our regular blog post and promotion through the first months of the next year. But here it was great to show something different, something unseen yet, and we are happy to share this with our fans.
Okay,
Exactly.
Philip, can you bring our faces back to the display, because the next thing we are
Where are we going next? Where are you going
we-
to take us?
I think this one is like a little snack during the trip to multiple vacations, because I
Okay.
have a folder here named ATS_cookies. So
Okay,
we are going
maybe before
Yeah.
we get there, we might remind the people that joined us newly, because it was again like 10 or 15 minutes,
Yes,
that we are doing a giveaway.
true. Good that you are still thinking and keep that thing in your mind. So Anyone who just joined us, welcome. Thank you for joining our special Christmas stream. And if you want to participate in a very special giveaway for which we brought 4 different Steam keys, one for Colorado DLC for American Truck Simulator, one for Road to the Black Sea for Euro Truck Simulator 2, one for American Truck Simulator cabin accessories, our pretty much latest released DLC, bringing tons of new toys for your truck's cabins in American Truck Simulator, and also one for the same DLC but for the Euro Truck Simulator 2, which also received a massive update just a few days ago. So to participate in this giveaway, all you have to do is to type the word Christmas into the chat on Twitch. As you already can see, the chat is going crazy again. I might, or maybe I should say that you have to type it only once. You don't need to spam it. So if you already type it, I don't know, 20 minutes back, or if you will type it 10 minutes forward or in the future, it doesn't matter. All you have to do is just to type it once, and you are in the pool of participants for this giveaway.
I gotta say that this is probably the most people have been excited about cookies on Twitch I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I see people talking about cookies in the chat a lot. So maybe,
maybe
next they want us to open it. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, like the next 20 minutes or so of the stream will be just look at me and Jakub eating cookies. That's it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
Philip, can you bring us some cookies, please? We're gonna have a little snack now.
Now,
okay, I think we should.
Let's do that. And I think, Jakub, it's kind of your realm, right?
So basically, ATS has released like 4.5, almost 5 years ago. It's going to be in 2021, and obviously, as the game is being developed and improved, and we're getting new techniques available, the older content is kind of starting to lag behind, and you probably know where I'm heading with this already. So what we are looking at right now is actually something you know already, but made in with current technology and current processes that we have here in the game. So seeing how it looks like, you might be a little sidetracked as to what we're actually looking at. I'm not gonna prolong it anymore. We are fully working on base map reskin or redesigns, and what you're looking at right now are few first screenshots from Northern California that is being redesigned with all the new processes in mind. And obviously, it's work in progress, so you're not going to see it in all its glory that it's going to ship in later on. But we have started, I think it's like 3 months ago, working on the reskin with a pretty small team for now. But we really felt that if we are ever to start doing the reskin or redesign, we cannot prolong it anymore because the game is not getting any younger, and we need to dedicate a team.
This is cool.
Yeah, this is a really cool shot. We need to dedicate a team to actually upkeep the older part of the map and renew it. Basically, what's happening in Europe as well, or ETS2. So yeah, even though you might not at first sight guess this is California, we are starting at the northern part. So we are in the areas of Redding, Eureka, etc., where the basically the nature and the entire look of the state resembles more Oregon than the California that you know. That's why you see all these forests and the bushes, etc. What's probably worth mentioning is that for now, since the team is fairly small, we are only focusing on roads and junctions and truck stops. We are avoiding cities for now, and as the team will gradually grow, we will start working on cities once we are fairly confident that we can actually do it in time. So we are starting with the main roads, basically starting them from scratch with current layouts and technology in mind. So we will be getting through that gradually probably over the next few years, depending on how large the team is and how well everything goes. But as you can see, the screenshots in the new light, it just oozes atmosphere. It's awesome looking. And we're trying to put all our know-how into doing California justice, and bring it up to the level of our latest DLCs, and so that it's not lacking behind in any way to our current production values. So yeah, you could just see, I think it was like eight screenshots from some of the new areas. I hope you liked it. Maybe if you guys have something to add or ask in the chat as well. Pavel, maybe you want to say something as well?
I'm looking at the chat too, but mostly I'm just enjoying the view. Well, it's an important milestone for us to both in European and in American games, to actually get to a stage where the production of new content is working in such a way that we can afford to actually start stealing people from the new stuff and dedicate it also to maintaining or updating the existing stuff. And we will need to balance this for years to come. When the American Truck launched, I think it was a product of maybe not even 10 people total, including the map team, vehicle team, the assets. So it was really a tiny team that was just, it was sort of like an experiment for us. Can we really get this off the ground and then make it a real project? Right now, the map design team just on ATS alone is about 30 people, supported by huge volume of asset creation people, of tester, programmers. So it's a whole different game that we are playing now. It's a whole different kind of factory that we have become in a way. So, and we feel that we need to strive for balancing the game world in a way that the new content doesn't look like 10 years younger than the old stuff. So we owe it to ourselves, we owe it to the players to keep this in mind and to start updating, maintaining the older areas. This is the same both for ATS, both for ATS2. So this is the first step for the ATS team to start revisiting places. And it's great to have you with in the center of kicking it off and building the new team that will be going over the existing stuff.
Cool. Exactly. Yeah. Thanks for the words and for the summary. As Pavel has said, this is, and the people in the chat have mentioned, it's kind of a logical step. We have a lot of better assets and tools than we had before, and the team grew a lot. So keeping the base map up to our current standards is the logical thing to do. Now, I think it's also worth mentioning, so that people do not have questions later on. This will be done in the same way as ETS2 reskins are doing. So they will be gradually released as free updates of the base game.
Yes.
So you will be able to drive through these parts of the map if you have, even if you have just the base part of the map. Once it's ready, it'll be available to everyone as part of a free update. So that should hopefully should hopefully be nice, because we feel that the base map, it deserves as much love as our newest DLCs do.
But we have to manage the expectations of our players, of our fans. This is not like a small project that will happen overnight. Things are going to pop up, update after update. We do this several updates a year, and this will come in stages. And while we start in California, we will definitely reach other states, but this will take time. It's just a commitment from us to not leave the old stuff untouched. It's a commitment for us to keep revisiting places and to keep improving them. Interstates, roads, eventually towns and cities. So the game will, the goal is for us to have the game like evergreen, to have it nice to play, whether it's this year or 5 years from now.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. like pretty interesting and exciting stuff ahead of us, I must admit. Let us move to a different continent this time, and also back to Euro Truck Simulator 2, because we have another folder called kind of like more up to North Place, North Pole. I don't know what kind of tricky elf was naming these folders, but let's see what's in it. We have a 14 screenshots of what we are cooking for Euro Truck Simulator 2.
So these are photos from your vacation, right?
Yeah, from mine. Yeah. And I don't know, guys. I didn't hear much about this project. All I know is that this is, maybe we can say that this is a next map expansion that is already being in development.
Mm-hmm. I think so. Yeah. Now.
Yeah, we don't want to confirm the name yet. We don't want to confirm the actual title, but we already hinted some weeks back that, and we actually mentioned it earlier in the stream, that the second team in Euro Truck Simulator 2 map team, the second half of the team, has been formed to start working on a new project. The pre-production has been already wrapped up, and then the production is ramping up. So many of the assets are already in place, and the teams are starting to build the actual locations. And therefore, we can afford to show a few finished or semi-finished places already. So let's see what we have to show. I think people can speculate. Not just speculate. People can guess very easily that we are actually going further east from where we have reached so far with Euro Truck Simulator 2 ecosystem. So, it's obvious where we are going.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious that this is Egypt, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's
you
fairly
can
obvious. Yeah, with all the trees and the Azbuka,
that jet plane.
Yeah, it's looking really cool.
But the shot, like, come on, the new light system really bring our games into a way new level. Like, this nearly looks like a photo.
Yeah, it very often happens that when people are like sharing images across the company chats, that if you just see a thumbnail of the screenshot, people mistake it for real photos often, and this is just.
I'm not an expert on military tech, but is the jet plane actually appropriate for the location? It may be a placeholder. To me, it looks like, I don't know, a griffin, but I don't know. Let's not confuse people. There will be placeholders still in these images. So
I mean, of course,
people of course analyze and overanalyze every image to see where it may have been, what's in there. So I don't recognize the jet plane, but
someone is saying that it's Saab Gripen for 100% in the chat.
That looks to me like a Gripen, and I don't think it would be appropriate for the place. So consider it please a placeholder.
Yeah, as always, everything we're looking at today is very much work in progress. In many cases, it's very early on in development. It might have been just a few weeks or months that people have been working on it. And depending on the size of the project, it might be just a little drip in the ocean or drop in the ocean. So as you can see, the European team is again pushing some more details and atmosphere to the places that couldn't get in the base game back in the days. So keeping up with current qualities of the game, I think these are looking really great.
Yeah. But as a lot of people in the chat mentioned, and we already said as well, everything we are showing in today's stream, basically in this part when we are talking about future projects or projects that we are already working on, is in very heavy and deep work in progress stage, and nothing displayed might be or will be or can be as a final product or final thing that as it will go out, as it will be released. So please keep that in mind, that we just wanted to show you some hot news, and on some of these screenshots, basically our teams just like produce the amazing views from what they have there now, but things are still in development. The teams are still waiting for unique and typical models covering the local architecture. So some houses might not be proper for the destination, etc., etc. But I think that still we kind of managed to bring a lot of cool looking pictures of what's coming in the future.
Right.
Well, I believe the map teams now work in a like structured way that the map design goes through up to 3 iterations. We call it iterations. First,
Four, actually.
of the road network and improvements, and maybe then probably what we call finalization is like the final optimizations and final touches. And of course, the whole of the map is now in the stage 1, in the first initial layout stage. But in some locations, we do prototypes that are like what's called vertical slices. These are well developed to understand what we have assembled for landmarks, what we have from the generic geometry, sometimes it's an assignment for a new member of the team to get trained on the full cycle of development. So these are really like early examples of stuff to come, and the team has many months of work ahead of them. But some of the things are really promising and exciting.
Yeah, and I think that these screenshots is there for the purpose to show how complex and how to me let's say spaghetti looking-ish intersections and road network
I think this quite clearly shows what we are actually working on. As you can see, this is the highway between Prague and Mars. This is flying in the void of space and nothingness. This is connecting our world with another planet. So,
I mean, if you miss your turn at this place, you're gonna be there for 2 days, driving around.
Yeah, exactly.
So this is just from the first stage of the map design. The first iteration of the map design is just laying out the structure of the new world, and then the elves come and add the detail along the roads, and that's a ton of work still ahead of the team, obviously.
Yeah, as Pavel has said, we go through several iterations in terms of the road layouts and everything. We're trying to figure out what works, what doesn't. We're playing around with it. It takes quite a long time to get the first stage of the project right, because if you do not get that right, the final outcome is not going to be great. So there's a lot of attention paid to these intersections, and that's why you saw the intersection in the middle of nowhere. That's basically a very early version of the interchange before it gets finalized with all the assets. So,
yeah, I mean, look at the chat right now. I too was before the stream when me and Jakub was checking the screenshots. I was like, oh my god, this looks so amazing. We kind of talk about maybe it's too dark, but already the chat is like spamming that it looks absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I think with the new light, our games can be just renamed into Screenshot Simulator or maybe Sunset Simulator. No, the
this
sunset
is basically the same place,
yeah.
but in a different time, different part of the day.
There are massive changes in terms of the lighting. Definitely, it's like one of the largest changes we've done, I think, in terms of visual quality in the past few
Well,
years.
I think our sunsets and our mornings looked reasonably well even before. It was the boring middle of the day that our light didn't quite manage to convey that well. What's nice about the new system, which is internally full HDR, and after that there is a lot of math applied to every pixel to process it into the normal display resolution and color quality, is that all hours of a day look convincing and look believable, and even look believable in the context of the places, like the scorching noon in Iberia versus early afternoon in Scandinavia. You have this believable, sun positions and believable like light patterns or light mood, and that's the exciting thing, that the locations will be differentiated also by the daylight changes or the daylight, the believable environment in the context of how light kind of affects your perception.
So yeah, looking at these locations in the new light makes it even better than it was before. So as we have mentioned, we are not saying what we're looking at right now. We're keeping that we're keeping that in our short sleeves that we are all wearing. I think we will share more information during the next year when we are ready to reveal what this is. So yeah, hopefully,
I think
soon
we'll be kind of
you will be told.
jumpy to actually start promoting new stuff early on in the next year. You know, we always push to collect all those wish lists and to get people acquainted with our plans. So we will not be sitting on this for a long time. We'll be unveiling the specifics and more information in the first quarter of next year for sure.
Perfect. I think people are excited, hopefully. So maybe quick reminder again to join in for the
About the
giveaway.
giveaway.
We got over 1,000 people now, so
let me repeat
so
it
that
again.
everybody knows.
Everyone who just joined us, thank you for coming and for watching, of course, our special Christmas stream. You might miss the information that we are also running a giveaway for 4 Steam keys, one for American Truck Simulator Colorado map expansion, one for Euro Truck Simulator 2 Road to the Black Sea expansion, one for American Truck Simulator Cabin Accessories DLC, and one for Euro Truck Simulator 2 Cabin Accessories DLC. And if you want to participate and have a chance to be one of the 4 lucky winners of one of these keys, all you have to do is to write the keyword Christmas into the Twitch chat, and that's it. Write that there, and you will be in the pool of participants who might be the winners of one of these keys at the end of this stream.
Exactly.
But moving to another topic to kind of reveal, to kind of show our cards in the sleeves. When we were talking about next map expansion in a production already in production for Euro Truck Simulator 2, it might be also cool to kind of reveal that the general team of American Truck Simulator already managed to separate into another team that is actually working on another map expansion.
We're kind of
not Wyoming,
splitting
but
so much. We have so much to do.
not Wyoming, but the next one. And for this special Christmas stream, we've managed to bring a few screenshots of this next map expansion for American Truck Simulator 2. Please keep in mind that these are
American Truck, not Euro Truck.
Yeah, sorry, not American Truck, not Euro Truck. Please keep in mind that these are very kind of alpha stage still, and they might not be perfect. They might not be ready for your judgment, but we thought that it might be cool to show you something from the another map expansion for American Truck Simulator 2, not 2. I'm getting tied in it.
Yeah, this is very secret, so everybody close your eyes. You cannot watch. We're gonna look at it, but you guys in the chat, you gotta close your eyes.
I think I will start with the second folder and let's play some bets how fast it's gonna take, how long it's gonna take until someone will recognize the places. I think it's gonna be like 10 seconds.
Maybe not even. I think people already know even before you open it up. So yeah, this is quite clearly a small village in the center of Czech Republic, right?
It's Canada, and it's a very small village. No, we just
people have already guessed it, so we might as well say that yes, we are. Hopefully, I can say it. Yes, we are looking at.
If not, Pavel, stop us. Please stop us. We are going out of a leash here.
Pavel, stop me.
I guess with the images that you have prepared, everything is clear now. So we can say this. We can admit on what the biggest team currently on ATS is working, what the largest group within the map team is actually working on now, and it's very clear now.
Yes, I think people have already guessed it. It's Texas.
Chat is
obviously.
full of that word. Yeah,
Yeah.
it is Texas.
Yeah, exactly. So what we are looking at are some of the early prototypes of some of the landscapes in Texas, because as a state, Texas is an incredibly massive undertaking for us to take, especially in ATS, where a project of this size has never been done in terms of map design. It's
True,
about
true.
3 to 4 times as large as a regular map or a regular state would be. So getting the early preparation works done well is crucial. And what you're looking at is basically some placeholder skylines with gray box buildings. This is our way of dealing with picking the proper objects for the proper locations to recreate there's a term for it. I don't know if it translates well in English. It's called genius loci, which means basically the spirit of the place that we are looking at, and to get that feeling right, so that people know where they are, to navigate by all the landmarks and all the known streets and intersections, and for the layout to make sense and combine it with the economy. So yeah, what you're looking at right now is that one of the earlier phases where the assets are far from finished. So we just get these gray placeholder buildings, as you can see on the right, which are just there for us to check out and see if the building fits well, if it needs to be remade, if we're not going to skip it. And we got all these monuments and little buildings and all these landmark spots that are being recreated already. So as Texas is full of that, the first iteration and even the second iteration is taking considerably longer. Obviously, we are trying to take our time, not rush the things. So these few shots that were from, I believe, Dallas and Houston. I'm not entirely sure if there was anything else, showing you the process of basically picking the landmarks and working with the references to get them correct. I believe we have also, maybe, can you open that one image one more time?
Which one? This one?
I think so, yes. So, not promising anything, we kind of realized that the Texas road infrastructure is very massive, and especially around the agglomerations around, Dallas, Fort Worth, etc. There are some massive highways and interstates, and they're full of traffic, and the side roads are buzzing with life. One of the things we are trying to do is liven up the side roads and the traffic life a little bit more compared to what is basically the norm for us. So we are experimenting with some features to bring in more AI vehicles, to bring in more side detail, bring a little bit more life. Like I say, it's still a prototype. We're still kind of figuring things out. It's not confirmed that we will be able to do it, but there are definitely some steps being done in that direction, because we do not want the world to be, half empty. We want the roads buzzing with life as much as you guys do. So hopefully we will be able to stand up to the task. So that's what this screenshot was supposed to show, that these side roads will be getting some attention as well.
Well, the technology for increasing the limitations on AI traffic is definitely in development, and it will definitely reach a production stage at some point. The question is, of course, is it going to come in sync with Texas specifically? Is it going to be ready sooner or later?
Yeah, that's what we don't
the
know
goal
now.
is definitely for both of our games to look richer and to have more AI traffic around the players, because our aim is always to strive to match reality. So it's just a question of time.
Yeah, definitely. And in the second folder, we have kind of mixture of images, either carrying and some of the Texas landmarks, buildings and whatnot, but also
There are the economy prefabs, basically.
some new prefabs and some new economy depots, as we call them. You might be looking forward to be exploring to be using as a delivery points or starting points for your jobs in Texas. So I think this is kind of a shipyard, or I don't know. I don't know if I will recognize all of them, but that huge building could like contain a whole ship in it, I guess.
I would love to tell you more, but I'm not
I don't
entirely
know.
sure. So I don't want to spread misinformation. Basically the DLC lead for Texas is
He's
not
in the
here
chat, by the way.
is he in the
Yeah,
chat?
Simon is in the chat.
Okay, so maybe we can do a little chat cooperation with Simon, who's
Hi,
in
Simon.
the chat.
Raise
Hi,
your
Simon.
hand.
So maybe
Basically, this is not the work of the map design team. This is the work
True.
of the 3D asset team that is preparing the material for the map team to use. So as we
Right.
explained, the 3D model work has to happen way ahead. Has to start definitely way ahead of when the actual map team is launching their work. So this is the building blocks that the map team will be able to use, the new industries, the new locations, and all that has been under development for many months already.
Yeah. These are actually one of the first things that get finalized in the entire DLC production pipeline, because we need to get these in the map very early. I think it was with Oregon or Washington when we started basically working with these we call them modular prefabs, where they are kind of a part of the environment in a way that they were not before. Before Oregon, most of the depots or drop-off locations, they were just a little square in the middle of the city, and it was surrounded by a fence, and that was it. Starting with Oregon, we started to do it a little bit more naturally, connected with the world, make it blend in a lot better. And as you can see from these screenshots, these locations are pretty bare bone in some cases. The reason for that is that we then take this part of the puzzle, we put it in, and then get a different batch of assets that can get spread around this area, and we can work with it more flexibly based on the concrete location, and we are not bound by a fence around the entire area. It makes it a lot more natural and blend in seamlessly with the rest of the world. So that's why these might seem like a little empty on the edges. That's up to the map designer then to make it more alive, make it blend in with the world.
Well, this way we achieve more variety, that we can reuse basically the same structure repeatedly, but always populate it with additional stuff differently, so that it feels somewhat fresher or somewhat different than the previous use of the same item in the world. So that's the goal really, for us to get like more richer world, to get more variety. And this is like looking under the hood here of how these things are being created.
Right. Yeah. So I just wanted to say that these get finalized because the economy is what the game is basically built on. The entire gameplay is based on the economy, on going from point A to B. So we need to make sure that these work well. You can get inside them with any truck, with any trailer. They're as universal as they can be. So that's why they get finalized first, because that's where players spend a lot of the time, and they can stop and look around a lot. So that's why they get so much love and focus from us.
Yeah, definitely. I can see a lot of hashtags Team Simon in the chat already. And I saw our colleague Annie started this riot in the chat. Hi Annie as well to you. Thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, maybe I guess more people from the company are watching. So
Yeah.
maybe you could raise your hand in the chat and.
I saw Timmy there. I
Yeah.
saw Cecil there.
Hashtag Team SCS if you're working here to see how many.
Someone
how many
said hashtag Team Pavel.
Team
Pavel,
Pavel.
you have your own fan base there.
We're gonna have separate factions at the end of the stream that are then going to go onto Twitter and Facebook and fight for their favorite host and So yeah, lots of cool new prefabs. Texas being so large, the variety of prefabs is quite huge. I believe Simon mentioned a little earlier on, like a few
That it
minutes
was
ago.
a oil
Yeah,
extract
offshore oil
Yeah.
rig site, something like that. So you can be looking towards some new locations to visit in ATS, definitely. Something you haven't been able to do before.
But we also have a few shots of like iconic buildings, let's say landmarks, unique and iconic for some of the cities in Texas. Can you recognize them, guys and girls in chat? Can you recognize, for example, this building or maybe the next one? Let us know in the chat if you know from what cities these buildings are and for like how they are called.
I wonder if there are people in the chat who might, like commute to work and they see these buildings daily, and now they're like, oh hey, I go by that every day. I always thought that was so cool when you see like reviews and people talking about the areas that we are recreating, and they go like, hey, I drive by that every single day when I go to work or to school. So
yeah, someone the Red Raider 24 saying that some of these buildings might be Dallas County Courthouse. I'm not sure which of them. Maybe this one.
I'm not entirely sure, so
Me
I
neither.
can't say.
But it looks like some people recognize them pretty quickly and easily. American Airlines Center, Austin State Capitol, Madison Square Garden. No, that's not Madison Square Garden. Definitely not.
Well, it's interesting to note that Texas has been on our minds for like maybe 3 years at least. We always thought, how can we approach the development of the further line of ATS DLCs when Texas is on the horizon, and we'll be spending, I don't know, a huge team will be spending 2 years plus possibly on the DLC. How can we make it so that from the player's point of view, it's another release basically in a reasonably spaced calendar? We didn't want to have people waiting for 2 years until we come up with a new DLC after the previous was released. So basically all was about ramping up the team, ramping up to multiple teams to be able to, again, to have parallel development, pre-production, production, post-production, all running in parallel pipelines, sort of. And we are now at the stage where we did dare to start with Texas. Actually, work on it has been, taking some time already. You see that we are not at the very beginning. In many cases we have a lot of stuff already built and prepared. But the ultimate, the ramping up of the team is going to be really visible and is going to produce really like massive results through this year. But we have no way now to estimate. Well, we do have some ways to estimate, but we have no courage to commit to a particular release time frame. We know that there's definitely about a year of work ahead of us, but it could be easily more than that, because the state is really it's the biggest project the American truck team is facing. So it's a new learning experience again for us. And compared to this DLC, I guess all the other states will look like really simple projects from the point when this one is released finally.
Right.
It's gonna be huge. Okay, cool. Let's leave Texas for a bit.
Yeah.
And let's
that
move
was
a
it for
topic.
Texas. Okay, I think we have a few more topics to talk about.
Yes. And I already saw a lot of requests and wishes that we should also talk about what new vehicles or trucks they can expect in the future. Well, we do prepared a few screenshots as well from this topic. Unfortunately, most of the projects we are working on, which are related to vehicles or trucks in general, have to stay under like tight embargo, and they have to stay secret until it is the right time. So we are not able to show you more than we have prepared for you, but at least something is better than nothing, right? So let's take a look into the forgery named
Getting confused by our own terminology.
This one kind of escaped the little elf's evil thinking, and it's basically named about what it's showing. And it is definitely, I think everyone can already recognize that we are working, and I dare to say that we are pretty far with it, that we are working on a sleeper cabin for Western Star 49X truck.
Well, yeah, we mentioned earlier in the stream that we had to launch the vehicle as soon as possible to after we started to match the actual unveiling of the real vehicle to the public. So we had kind of limited scope for the initial release, but of course we keep continuing to add all the missing parts or all. We want this vehicle, and everybody expects this vehicle to match in variety of tuning and configuration the other trucks in the game. So this is our one of the projects that the vehicle team is working on for early in the next year.
Yeah, and we should say that this is not the only vehicle that we are working on. I think that it's fair to say that we kind of are working on multiple vehicles. Am I right, Pavel? Or
well, of course, absolutely. This is not. It's quite obvious that we have to have the system in place to work on multiple vehicles in parallel. The thing is, we have way more control actually, technically as well as from approval point of view, when we develop map DLCs or perhaps some tuning DLCs. That's actually just like the technical part that we need to get right. When it comes to cooperation with the transportation industry, we have to be more reserved about what we promise or what we unveil. The timing and the approval process may take us through some unexpected turns and twists. So we always wait until we are totally 100%, even more, sure that we can deliver, and we can deliver at a particular date and time. Because promising something and then not being able to deliver because some glitch in the system slowed down the approval process, that would be unprofessional. That would be badly possibly accepted by the big manufacturers. So with the vehicles, we are really careful about what we even hint, what we especially what we promise, what we commit to. That's why people may consider us kind of hard to read in the vehicle department, but this is really down to us preferring to only confirm whatever is 100% sure and basically 100% ready for release.
Yeah, definitely. We would love to be able and allowed to show you more, trust us, and please don't think that we like kind of focus only on ATS just because we are showing screenshots for vehicles, for one vehicle that we are allowed to show, and that is like regarded or connected to the American Truck Simulator game. We actually, or our vehicle department is actually working also on new vehicles coming to Euro Truck Simulator 2. So don't worry, you will have new machines, new beasts to play with.
Yeah,
perfect.
Exactly.
Now I wonder, how are we going to, beat all these previous announcements or teases with something even more exciting for the people watching us on the stream?
Yes,
and I don't think we have anything more exciting, so we
no,
probably
we don't.
should not
That's
show.
all. That's all. Sorry.
Yeah, there is one
night.
more folder, but I think not showing it is the best option we have right now because we have shown so many cool things that this last one is probably kind of just underwhelming and people will not react to it at all.
Nah, Jakub is going crazy a little bit here, but actually, so far we've revealed our cars or our projects basically on things that we kind of are familiar with developing them, making them, creating them. But also, we have a few projects which are kind of experimental and visionary for us. If I'm trying to name that well, and one of them are like named here Slate Driving School.
Yeah.
So basically, we will build a slate into our games, and we will be driving with them around the American Choice Limit and Euro Truck
Exactly.
too.
And now everybody who wants to buy a reindeer and attach some sleighs to it, you will be able to do that. That's what we're trying to say now.
Go into the forest and tame a reindeer. You're gonna need that.
Yes.
Now, actually, we have a few screenshots, very few screenshots, that will kind of hint one of our very experimental project, and I think that it would be best to give the word to Pavel on this, and I will be just switching to the screenshots.
Well, as you mentioned, there are some like smaller or experimental projects at SCS internally, and when we approached the teams about showing something, some of the teams said it's too early. Some of the teams said, okay, let's just hint but not tell too much. And this is just a case where we just wanted to show something that may or may not, we'll see, become a part of our games in the next year. And this is something that should possibly teach people the maneuvering skills, and that may, and again speculating, may even be applicable in some ways to some actual driver training eventually, at least inspirational level initially, but who knows where it takes us. So really there are multiple angles from which we approach the goals and elements of our products. We don't want to forever be just producing the same old game. We want these games to grow, not just like in content, but also in feature, in depth, in complexity, in fidelity, in simulation sense, without actually losing our players by requiring them everybody to play the game to actually have a driving license, a truck driving license. So all these things combined, there is a desire inside the team to actually produce something where our players could learn the maneuvering skills without the stress of having to deliver the cargo on time and under pressure, to be able to work on various skills, have some kind of tutorial approach or structured approach to learning truck driving skills. So these are just some like hints of things that may come eventually to the game. People may remember that many years back we experimented with like a serious take at a game in cooperation with Scania, and basically some of the lessons from that early work may be applicable for like a new module that would be eventually popping up in our games. And who knows, maybe this is going to be useful for the players as a training grounds. It may be also applicable for the players who decide in the real world out there on a career change and become real world drivers. So this is the thinking. This is just like really experimenting, trying to understand the topic internally, trying to do some scenarios and see what works, what doesn't, what may be the right way to teach such subjects from inside a game. But I'm quite excited about it. Actually, it's me kind of pushing into being able to offer like a more serious angle of the trucking experience, because we believe, or I believe, that if we had such a module in our games, the vehicle manufacturers would be even more open to cooperation, even more, considering us even more important for, I say, the image of the industry in the eyes of regular people or new kids who may just be discovering the phenomenon. So there is hope that this is going to be a welcome feature eventually by some of the players. Not all of the players. We have all kinds of players. Some of them prefer the exploration aspects of the game, and for them we create all these nice new map expansions and prettify the world. but many people are actually deep into the truck simulation experience, and maybe a little bit of maneuvering and skill driving or advanced concepts even teaching in the context of our games would be a welcome step to grow into different angle than just content of the same type.
Right
So
now, I might add.
thing just teasing. It's not a specific. There's no timeline attached to this. There is no commitment to a particular version that the update version that this thing would ship with. We'll be definitely iterating on this for some time more, but it's an interesting, and I don't think it's a diversion. I think it's an interesting concept to broaden the scope, to broaden the appeal of our games, to actually bring in more kind of people with industry experience or industry aspirations, and in this way to make the game really more attractive to more people. And this would basically trickle down back into the game itself, the gamer's game part of the game, where if we have more experienced players telling us or providing feedback, this may actually improve the regular gaming experience, or this may remove some of the mistakes we are making, or fix them through better interaction with the industry or with the experienced drivers.
Definitely. I'm pretty excited to see the progress of this project further in the future.
I would maybe tease one more little thing in regards to this driving academy, as I was part of some of the discussions we've been having about it.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Or well, one discussion I've been part of. This kind of system of the trucking academy is very modular, and it would allow us to maybe broaden in different directions as well than just driving academies. I don't want to spoil too much. It was just in the realm of dreams and ideas of what we could do, but we were thinking about also doing custom scenarios or missions that the players could partake in. We could add maybe some sort of like stories or backstories, a little bit lore, create some specific missions that you wouldn't be able to experience in the game on its own. I mean, that's what the entire driving academy is about, but we were kind of thinking about the part where you're not learning to drive the truck as well, where you're actually putting these skills to the test. So that's just something we were talking about, and I for one would be excited to have that in the future, and I think we'll be pushing in that direction slowly as well. So there's a little bit more hidden behind the driving academy, as it was said. I would say so. Hopefully, I'm not promising too much. It's just something I've been part of, and I thought that was really cool.
Indeed, but the truth is that the programming team is implementing the features in like a more general sense that would allow us to do some really cool things eventually. But let's not get overexcited, because this is like a long-term thing. Something
Exactly.
Like close to the horizon of what we are releasing in the next year.
True. We have one folder left.
Right.
And I think if you guys and girls in the chat thought that the hype train couldn't get any faster and any more hype, I think that we are about to show you were wrong. But before we will show you the last I don't know how to call it, the last
segment.
We're
going to take a 2-year break. We will be right back in 2 years.
Now, I just wanted to remind for everyone who just joined us that we are still running and hosting the giveaway for 3 Steam keys. One for American Truck Simulator Colorado map expansion, one for Road to the Black Sea Euro Truck Simulator 2 map expansion, one for cabin accessories DLC for American Truck Simulator, and one for Euro Truck Simulator 2 cabin accessories DLC. And all you have to do to participate in this giveaway, to get a chance, you will be randomly picked by our Nightbot here in Twitch chat as a winner of one of these keys, is to type the word Christmas into the chat. And that's basically it. That's basically everything you have to do. And we will be picking the keys and the winners at the end of this stream, which we are approaching quite fast. But now, let us show the last thing we prepared for you. And the forgery is named Santa's Little Helpers. And I don't dare to say what it's pointing out.
I don't think I'm not even going to say anything when you open
No?
it.
I can say that it's a video, so Philip, please, can you hide our faces? Because we are going to... Philip maybe fell asleep. Philip.
Woohoo!
Philip,
He's not-
are you
not-
there? Philip, can you please hide our faces on the stream?
Yeah. Okay, he woke up.
He's alive. He's alive.
Also unscripted.
And
Working on it.
let's
We got
play
less people
the video we prepared for you. And
There it is.
that's it.
I think the people in the chat have instantly guessed what this was supposed to show.
Yeah,
so-
the chat was so hyped, so damn spamming.
Yeah, I got goosebumps at one point.
Yeah.
When I saw all the reactions.
I also saw the Nightbot kind of blocking a lot of messages because guys were so excited that they used rude words out of excitement. So the Nightbot just blocked their messages. So guys, please always remember good behavior.
So yeah, what we've just seen is, I believe, our first official look at what's been brewing under the hood. And so, silent and secretive about, and that is official support for multiplayer. And I think maybe Pavel could say a few words about this.
Well, people have clearly been very excited about the video that they are seeing. Again, we have to manage expectations before having people jump to conclusions. We have been working on actually what we could call it two directions in multiplayer. One of them, the even grander one, is the persistence that we want to achieve in World of Trucks, which is people being able to form companies, have long-term goals and share long-term experience, being able to log in and log out of the huge virtual trucking companies world that will span weeks and months and years of evolution. But that has been in development for years, and it's making nice progress, but that's not what people are seeing. The other aspect, the other part of multiplayer experience is actually being able to share the driving experience together. It's about being able to form a convoy. So quite properly, I've even seen the term here on the chat. We have started working on the what we call convoy multiplayer feature some time back, and this is the current state that where we are. We have groups of our testers, group of our internal employees at SCS, spending every week a couple of hours together on the ever improving, ever internal multiplayer project. We have the networking layer pretty solid now, and it's robust and it's working well. We still need to work a lot on the lobby system and the system to actually support the teams creating their own like mini worlds for their own, because the focus of this feature is actually for people to able to form define their own groups of friends that they want to play with. It's not supposed to be a massive multiplayer take on the multiplayer feature. This is supposed to be a small group affair, including AIs, including the game economy working as people know it, including synchronizing individual people's games as they join in or drop out of sessions as they wish. So this is going to be basically an extra layer on top of the current single player game where people may connect their existing campaigns, their existing single player playthroughs, and spend some time together, do something together, perhaps a convoy, perhaps who knows, participate in a World of Trucks event, and then move on and have their game save files unaffected or actually affected as they would expect by these deliveries, but not having to have a different way to launch the game or different experience totally. It's about connecting people, playing the game as they know it, with as much as possible features still enabled and working. Obviously, there will be some changes needed. The game loop will be different. You cannot just pause your game and expect the other people to get a pause in their game as well. So we have to have some logical synchronization between the different players and their sessions. But all that is being addressed, and all that is in a very promising stage. So again, managing expectations. There is no definite timeline. There are no definite release plan. But the fact that we are now already ready to show you this is a hint that we are not that far, that hopefully 2021 will be the year when people see this and enjoy this. And that's it. We hope that this would be like the crowning jewel in today's stream, that you will be excited about things that we plan. And I hope that we achieved some of our goals here.
Yeah, definitely.
Exactly.
Definitely. Chat is excited a lot.
Yeah, great words. I think multiplayer is what people were, excited a lot for the longest time. So we were finally able to break the silence and talk about what we've been working on for some time now. Hopefully it'll strike the right note with everyone. And as Pavel has said, it's probably the best cherry on top that we could have put on today's stream. So beautifully said in that regard.
True.
So we've talked about quite a lot of things today.
Yeah.
Do you guys in the chat have any favorite
One?
part?
Yeah.
Is there anything that stood out to you? Maybe you can write a word or two in the chat just to get a general feeling of what interested you guys the most. We got Convoy, we got Texas, multiplayer, Convoy, multiplayer, Iberia, multiplayer in Texas, 49X,
I think we
Texas
have
convoy.
the winners here pretty much. The convoy and Texas stole the
Right.
show.
Yeah. It's nice to see that the largest projects are getting so much love because we pour so much work into them. So it's obvious that we're taking steps in the right direction. So awesome that you guys are excited about it as much as we are, I guess. We got to stay a little bit, calm on the calm side to not rush things and give them the time it needs, which Pavel and the management always give us to give you finished products. And we do not have to rush in the release in 2 days or or stuff like that. When it's ready, and hopefully it shows. So.
True.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
I'm
got
not
people excited. Now, kind of all we need to do is deliver, right? All we need to do is the
Right.
Yeah.
little detail of actually making those hints and teases and actually implicit promises come through. But when we show something, it typically is at a stage when we are reasonably confident that it's going to make it into the product. We're not always right. Sometimes we start a project and have it lingering around for years. But here, the hope is that the majority of these things that you have seen is already going to be released through the next year. And well, it's quite possible that some of it will kind of leak into 2022. The next year is going to be very exciting because not just these visible things are going to happen. There is a lot of kind of under the hood improvements to the technology, to the tools, to the creative process, to the processes happening. So the overall, the trend, the quality, the simulation precision, all that is improving gradually year after year, and 2021 will be no exception. I would even dare to claim we are going to step up the effort, and hopefully it's going to be very visible for our fans.
True. Definitely. We will see what the future will bring. And before we will get into the kind of ending part of our stream, let's pick the winners of the giveaway.
I'm just gonna turn the game down a notch. People were saying that the game is a little too loud, so you can go on with the giveaway.
Cool. I was kind of shocked why you are like
Yeah.
stealing my keyboard and mouse here, but okay, let's
Hopefully
do
that's
it.
better.
So we have 4 keys to give away, and so we are going to pick 4 winners of the giveaway we've been hosting through the whole stream. All you had to do was to type the keyword Christmas into the chat. I see that the chat is still spamming the keyword, trying to steal the last seconds to get into the pool of participants. We have 563 eligible users to be picked from, but we only have 4 keys. So
Crazy to think that I'm gonna win everything anyway. So
yeah, it's gonna be Jakub _Mráz 4
1,
times.
2, 3, 4.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to hit the roll it button for the first time in 5,
Do it.
4, 3, 2, 1, and the first winner, his name or her name is Lol Smurf. What a beautiful
Beautiful name.
What a beautiful nickname.
Congrats, Smurf.
Congratulations to you, Smurf. You just won a Colorado map expansion key. Please check your direct messages because I'm about to send you the key in a second.
I hope you're not feeling too blue about it, Smurf.
What kind of Smurf you are? What Smurf you are?
Me?
No, the lol Smurf.
Ah, I see. Okay. Do we see a response in the chat? I'm not sure. Again, LOL Smurf won the Colorado key. Oh yeah, we can see a response. Can't believe he won or she won. Oh, better believe it. It's coming your way.
Okay.
Nemiro is working on it right now. I think
Nemiro is working on it, but the Twitch, for some reason, is telling me that our account is not verified, and so I cannot send whispers.
Okay.
What the
Apparently
hell?
we are
using this account for like 2 years now, but now Twitch says that we are not verified.
Apparently we are fake.
We are fake already. Or all the time. So
Will you be able to get it verified?
Yes,
or
I
can we
will.
do it
I will.
later?
I
Okay.
will. Just give me a few moments because I'm
Okay.
about to get the verification key. I just send it again to our email.
Perfect.
Here
Okay,
it is.
so guys in the chat, how are you excited about Christmas this year? It's been a pretty crazy ride, and hopefully Christmas and the New Year's Eve will be kind of a breaking point into a newer and better part of our lives. We kind of had to
And
struggle this year with
before you answer,
complications. Yeah,
I'm back alive. So
Perfect.
Lol Smurf just received the key for Colorado map expansion, and I'm about to hit the roll it button again in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and the
Let's do it.
second winner is SAV 510.
I remember reading his comment earlier on, so I guess he cheated the system somehow, and
Yeah,
yeah. No, I'm
someone
just
is
kidding.
suspicious here, right?
Yeah, no, I remember he was one of the people replying to the question about if people are partaking in the Christmas event. So it's nice to see that an actual active member of the community won. So SAV 510, congrats, dude.
Congratulations, you are about to receive the key for Road to the Black Sea map expansion in a direct message from us just
Nice.
now. I send it. Please check your inbox so we know you get it. You got it.
I
And
haven't seen a response yet, so he might be gone now. So
yeah,
hopefully
these
they'll
might be
release-
gone, but the keys will wait for them in the direct messages. So once they are back on Twitch account, they will have some, let's say, Christmas surprise there from us. And let's hit the roll it button again to see
Do it.
who is going to win the American Truck Simulator cabin accessories. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And the name is Larger Life.
Larger Life.
Larger Life,
Congrats. You are
congratulations.
a winner. And what did they win again?
They just won the American Truck Simulator cabin accessories DLC. I'm about to drop the key in a few seconds.
Nice.
My copy pasting skills are getting quicker.
Those are pretty nice Christmas gifts. I believe even if you're not, I mean, if you already own that DLC, you can maybe gift
Yeah.
it to a friend
Yeah.
or a family member. Share it with somebody else who loves the game as well and maybe doesn't have the DLC yet. I think it will definitely find
Definitely.
find its owner.
Okay, and to stop the spamming of the keyword Christmas in the chat, we have to do the last picking to
Okay,
see
let's do it.
who the last winner is. Let's hit the roll it button in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And the last winner is Mr. Panan Blood Trail.
Mr. Banan Blood Trail.
I wonder
what a
where
name.
you guys are picking these nicknames.
What a name. I guess
are
I guess
hilarious.
that's a very famous trucker in the US. Mr. Mr. Banan Blood Trail. Okay,
Mr. Panan Blood Trail,
congratulations.
please check your inbox because you just won a Steam key for Euro Truck Simulator 2 cabin
Oh yeah,
accessories.
Mr.
DLC.
Banan is giving us the POC champs in the chat. He's as shocked as we are from his name. So congrats, Mr. Banan.
Congrats
Enjoy
to
your-
all our 4 winners. I'm going to stop the giveaway. You don't need to type the word Christmas in the chat again or anymore. And again, congratulations to all the 4 winners
Exactly.
from the
Enjoy it in
563 eligible users. That's pretty luck to be one of the 4. And what should we say more? I think let's wrap it up. Let's wish
I think we've already said the most important stuff that people were excited about.
True.
So we're getting to a part where we're probably going to wish everybody out there the merriest of Christmas, the best of New Year's, and let's all wish that the next year will be much better than this was. And even if this year was very good to you, we still hope it's even better for you next year. And considering the global situation, I think everybody needs a little luck and nice feelings in their lives. So, spend some time with your family, with your friends. Give your friends a call. Enjoy the little things. I think this year showed us everyone how fragile our lives can be. So do not take things for granted. Enjoy them in health as long as you can. Spread joy and be beautiful to each other. We hope you keep enjoying our games, our product. We are here for you. You are here for us. It's a mutual cooperation and love. So I think what we can wish each other for 2021 is health, luck, satisfaction.
Yeah, to be
And,
honestly, I hope that the year is gonna be way better than 2020.
Yeah, hopefully, hopefully at least a little healthier. For myself, I kind of wish we could get back to the offices with all our other colleagues, because we are working from home and we have been for the past, I think, 3 months or so. So I'm kind of looking forward to getting back into the regular regime, and I hope we can all gather around and have some nice chat and coffee and talk with each other in person. So
True,
that's what I would say is on the horizon for me personally.
Pavel, what do you think? What
There is
do you have?
not much to add. I admire you guys being able to spend, what is it, over 2 hours with the face mask and still
Yeah.
sounding excited and to still being able to cheer the fans. We are trying to be super responsible. We are trying to send the message here that really we keep ourselves safe, and we want you. We would love for you to be safe and to make it through the difficult times healthy and appear on the other side in 2021 in the good times again with as much optimism as possible. It's been a very rough year for everybody. It's not been a simple year for our teams, but we imagine that in many places of the world, or for many companies, many people, they are facing way more difficulties than we can actually ourselves here go into. So please stay safe, stay healthy, enjoy the holidays. If it's not possible to meet your friends and relatives, make sure to get in touch with them and through the modern miracles of digital technology. And let's meet again in 2021 in good health and in good spirits.
Exactly.
Definitely.
I can see a lot of love and positive vibes being shared in the Twitch chat. So I'm glad we have such a nice community and everybody wishes each other some beautiful, beautiful times.
Yes, we have the best community ever.
Exactly. Where can I sign that? Because it's true.
And don't forget.
I wouldn't like to forget that I personally, I should thank all of the team at SCS, all the departments, all the designers, the programmers, the HR, testers. I'm forgetting some of the vehicle team. We have so many teams now. The research team. Am I forgetting anybody? I may be, but
I got lost.
even if I didn't mention them, it was a fantastic job making it through the year, completing so many projects and starting the new projects, being able to absorb new members into the teams and get them up and running. Great work. Thank you, guys and girls. I'm looking forward to working with you in the next year.
Absolutely.
So do we.
Absolutely.
I think those were some of the best words that could have been said at the end of such a stream.
Exactly. And also, I just wanted to add and remind that you still have a time to enjoy the special Christmas event we just recently started for you. So if you find yourself during the holidays looking what to play, on what game you want to spend some time, you can pursue your personal goal or help to work to the community to reach the community goal in the Christmas Wise Giving event. And
exactly.
That's
I think
it.
with that, we are about to wrap this stream up, unless you guys have anything else to add to the end.
Not me. I think everything has been said multiple times. It was an amazing year. Thank you, girls and guys in the chat, in our community, all around the world, for being such a great community. Thank you for all your support. Thank you for joining us today. And I think let's see ourselves in 2021.
Exactly. So many great announcements today, many great information shared. I hope you guys are excited as much as we are. And with that, I think it's time to say goodbye. Have a very Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and we'll see you guys in probably maybe a couple weeks or so in the new year,
Exactly.
most likely. So yeah, take care, everyone.
Thanks,
Have a good one.
everybody. Stay safe.
Bye.
Bye bye.